guys, welcome back to Giggles and Gains. I have got two very, very, very interesting topics I'm going to be discussing today. One is the female hormones, and two is having sex with your partner. So the reason I wanted to discuss these two topics this week was because they are very much big apparent things in my life this week. So the first one is my hormones, and the second one was the most fantastic conversation that I actually had with a new client this week around intimacy and being comfortable in your body and being safe enough to want your partner to touch you, to have sex with them. So I'm going to be covering both of them and my views on them. So bit of an interesting episode this week. And actually, as I've done this episode, I literally just put the not gonna lie, how many times a week do you have sex with your partner? And I've literally just put it on Instagram and my phone is just blowing off. And yeah, the responses are crazy. Like, I'm going to be really honest, it's actually crazy how little sex people are having. I'm not about to confess that I have the most glamorous sex life ever. I'll come on to that later. Anyway, let's start there then. So I had a call this week with a gorgeous client who is getting married in 6 weeks. And she is in her 20s and she's a PT, she's a coach. And she works long shifts. She looks after her clients. She is a role model. And I said to her, how confident do you say you feel? And she basically was like, yeah, I feel like super confident. Like I talk to anybody. I'm really confident in the gym. And I was like, no. But how confident are you inside? And it was probably about 30 minutes into our conversation that she then let slip that she's like, I don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't want my partner to touch me. I feel really uncomfortable. It gets so bad sometimes that I don't actually even want to have sex with him. And that to me is massive. Like, if you're at the point in your body and your life that you feel that uncomfortable that you don't want to have sex with the one person that is your person, they're your soulmate, they're that one place that you can feel safe, that is a real big red flag for you. Like, it's fucking waving, because actually, like, you should feel so secure in your relationship and you should feel secure in your body. And I think there's so many of us, I would say it is one of the most common things that people say to me, I'm not being intimate with my partner anymore. And that's a real huge issue, because like, we do have a duty of care to look after ourselves and to keep a connection in a relationship. Like, sorry, Derek, I'm about to talk about you as if you're not here. Did I invite you on the podcast and you said no? So Derek and I, our love language and his love language is physical touch. And sometimes as a woman, I am less motivated to have sex. And actually, I know that that's really important to him, because that's what gets him going and that's what makes him feel connected to me. And that's what, when I feel connected to him, is when we're being intimate. And actually, if we don't have intimacy for a long period of time, guess what? By a long period of time, we're talking like, oh my God, I shouldn't say. I'm not going to say. It'll fucking tell me off. But he's just about to pull into the drive. And if we don't have intimacy for a period of time, our relationship suffers. We're not as connected to each other. We bicker more. We're not as aligned to each other. And actually, that's something that's really important for us to keep alight, like really important. And this is the like confidence crisis that people don't talk about enough. Like, when you don't feel good in your body, that bleeds into every area of your life. And I'm not just talking about confidence being a feeling that is how you look. It's inside. It's you going for the promotion at work because you believe you deserve it. It's standing up for yourself at work when somebody has potentially overstepped your boundary. It is walking into the gym and taking up space and not being embarrassed to be there or embarrassed to do something that somebody might look at you. It's having sex with your partner with the lights on. It's actually having sex. It's letting them touch you and not cringe. That's real confidence. And that comes from doing the uncomfortable stuff, showing up time after time after time, so you feel more confident in what you're doing. So if you're somebody at the minute that is not having sex with your partner and it is down to how you feel in your body, then maybe you really need to have a good hard look at yourself on the inside out and start to make some changes, because I do think that actually in a relationship, you should be connected to your person. And how do they feel about that? They signed up to a relationship where they wanted to be intimate with you. They wanted to share that intimate moment so that they felt, I keep saying the word connected, but they feel connected to you. They love you. They cherish you. And just because you don't feel good in your body, you don't want to let that area of your relationship suffer. I've got a coach friend of mine, and she often talks about this and talks about like other partners being unfaithful. I'm not going to get into that, but it is really interesting topic, because you've got to look after yourself and you've got to look after what's yours. And I'm not talking about times in your life when you're fucking pregnant or you've got an illness. I'm talking about day-to-day responsibility to look after yourself and your relationship, because it's a value to you. So if you are in a rut at the minute, I'm not about to give sex therapy advice. If you are in a rut at the minute and you don't feel confident in yourself, then actually you have to look at why. Is that because you're carrying too much body fat? Is it because your clothes are a bit too tight? Is it because you don't feel, come here, you. I was just talking about sex in relationships. Do you want to get involved? I haven't talked about our relationship yet. Look, he's here. Come on then, pull up a chair.
I'm eating lunch.
No, come on.
Say hello and then
Come on then.
No.
Come in. He's getting grumpy at me. So, so sex and relationships, that's me done in it. You've got to look at the internal stuff as to why you're feeling like that, why you don't feel that you can feel safe, you can feel sacred, you can feel intimate with your partner, because actually you want to keep that relationship alive. They love you, you love them. So what are the fundamental issues in how you feel about your body, and what do you then need to do to fix them? And that should be quite a high motivator for you, because that's the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, that was one topic for today, 7 minutes, halfway through. The second topic I wanted to go into was female hormones. And I'm going to talk about all the stuff that people don't talk about, like the fact that you get fucking constipated, the fact that you feel shit. So during our female cycle, we have two key phases in it. We have the follicular phase, which is where we're like, "Way, come get me, come impregnate me." And then we have the luteal phase, which is the low energy, feeling a little bit vulnerable, not feeling as good in yourself. And then we obviously have menstruation, ovulation. So menstruation is obviously day one of your cycle. And that's the first day of your bleed. And then as you move into that first phase, that would actually be the follicular phase, and then you ovulate, and then you would then move into your luteal phase. So normally the reason that we can feel so rubbish on around day one of our period is because most of our hormones, our progesterone and our estrogen, are really, really low, and then they gradually, progesterone climbs up until ovulation. So in various times of the month, let's link this back to sex. So sometimes when you're around ovulation, you're feeling really, really horny. But then actually, as you move into coming into your due-on phase, you're like, oh, I just want to be left alone. So that links into what we were talking about earlier around sex. But actually, the different phases in the cycle can obviously mean different things for different people. And I honestly believe that whatever is going on in your life at that moment in time, that is what is exacerbated by your cycle. So I'll share my story. The last couple of weeks, I've been extremely stressed. I shared last week that I actually dropped a 1.5 kilos after a really, really big situation that had kind of come to fruition in my life. And then I had a really, really good week where I felt at my best. My body was really tight. I wasn't inflamed at all. I didn't have any cravings. And then as I've moved into this week, the scales have just crept up and up and up and up and up. And I'm actually 2 kilos heavier at the moment. I'm incredibly bloated, like incredibly bloated. I haven't been to the toilet properly for like 3 or 4 days. And the reason that happens is because progesterone's so low. So progesterone is responsible for the motility of the gut. So it like keeps our gut nice and absorbed, and the functioning and the closing and the squeezing of the gut. I'm not going to go into detail in it, but that's the non-scientific version. So that whole process can slow down when we're producing less progesterone. So a lot of women will find that they get more constipated around that time of the month. Also, you can find that your energy levels are lower as you're coming into your period and around your period. You can also find motivation is a little bit lower. And there's a bit of a controversial thing that's like, oh, should women like not train during their cycle? My opinion is get your fucking ass to the gym, because you're feeling a bit low, you're feeling a bit vulnerable, you're not feeling your best self. And actually, if you got into the gym, got that workout done, you'd produce serotonin, you'd produce dopamine, you'd produce endorphins, and you'd feel a hell of a lot better if you left. And that's my view. So sometimes when we're in these phases of the month, we can notice that strength can drop a little bit as well, because we're not taking on those hormones that make us feel strong and adventurous, or we're not producing them. But that's not always true. Like sometimes day one of my cycle, I can actually smash out a PB. But then yesterday, I nearly died. Thought I was going to die. I was like, Jesus Christ. Had to put my belt on a little bit looser. I was feeling really inflamed. But again, I'm inflamed, I'm stressed. That's the symptoms that I'm carrying at the moment. So that's how my hormones present themselves. So obviously the other kind of bits and bobs that people, I guess, don't talk about, or they do talk about a lot, is actually cravings. So around when we're due on or we're moving into our luteal phase, our thermogenic rate, so our body's actually burning at a higher temperature. So it is burning a few more calories. So what I would suggest to most clients is actually, when you are in this phase of your cycle, is actually just to the time of the day that you know that you're going to be snacking. Mine's 4 o'clock. I like baked oats at 4 o'clock because it really satiates me. That would be the time of the day where you're going to be like, right, I'm going to get a bit more of a bigger meal and I'm going to go get those heavier carbs in. I'm going to get that sweeter food in that I'm craving. And then that way you're kind of one step ahead. And then the other things that I would suggest is just those regular eating times, like I say on every podcast. So eating at similar sort of times every single day. So you know that when that craving is starting to hit, you know that you've got your next meal coming up really, really shortly. So you can just kind of like, you can just kind of have your food rather than kind of worrying about when that next thing is, and you're not raiding the cupboards because you know that that's coming up. And ultimately, we have 13 periods a year. Like we have a cycle every 28 days. And when our cycle's done, we're going to go into the menopause anyway. So you've got to work with your cycle. I would honestly suggest tracking it, like paying attention to those symptoms, understanding when weight fluctuations happen so they don't send you sideways on a big emotional roller coaster, understanding what symptoms you get at specific times of the month, understanding your mood so you can regulate yourself. So you know when you move into your luteal phase that you're going to be feeling a little bit more vulnerable, you're going to be feeling a little bit more emotional, you're going to be feeling a little bit more sensitive. And know that when you move into your follicular phase, that's the time you're going to be smashing the PBs, you're going to be making adventurous decisions, you're going to be feeling your best self. Like, know that that's what happens at different times of the month. And if you can prepare yourself for those different things, that's going to have a really positive impact on how you see your cycle. Like, you can't change it. It's not going anywhere. So you're going to waste like fucking 3 months of your year because you have a period. Fucking hell. Get a grip. Like, and some people might think I'm harsh for saying that, but honestly, you believe the story you tell yourself. If you think that your period is taking over your life every single month, well, maybe you need to go to the doctors to get tested for like endo, PCOS. If you just have period symptoms every single month and there's nothing wrong with you, then actually you just need to crack on. And you might think I'm harsh, but if you've got a serious problem, go to the doctors, because nothing's going to change unless you change something. And like I've said, your lifestyle really exacerbates your symptoms. So if you do have really intense periods, then you might need to look at a high anti-inflammatory diet, like getting those good spices in, those good herbs in, and those good vegetables in, like ginger, turmeric, cumin, garlic, seasoning all your foods with those. And then also, you want to be including like lots of good fats like olive oil, nut butters, seeds, avocados, because they're high in anti-inflammatory qualities, and also oily fish. And you want to be getting like good quality veg in there because that's going to help bring the inflammation down in your body. So I've done it. Another little mini episode all about sex. And yeah, the hormonal cycle, which to be honest, they've both been big things in my week this week because yeah, poor Derek, he's not feeling loved at the moment because I am in a lot of pain. But I've got to make sure I look after him. Don't want him looking elsewhere. No, I'm joking. Don't forget to stay and subscribe. Thanks for listening.